welcome to this meeting.
Thank you, Pontus.
It's so great to have you here.
Likewise, it's nice to be here.
Yeah, this is our first testimonial that we are recording and to put on our website. And I'm so excited to do this first one with you because you were actually the first client with us at berner+becker.
Well, I'm proud to be your first interview partner.
Yeah, I think in one of those conference rooms where you're sitting, we actually signed a napkin 5.5 years ago that we were going to start working together, and it took a couple of weeks until we had a real contract on the table, but that came as well.
That came as well, and we both stick to it, and managed to do 5 years now almost.
Yeah, so May 2016, that's when we started. A lot of things have happened since then. It's almost 5.5 years ago. How was the situation for you before we started to work together and that you started using our outsourced revenue management service?
You know a little bit of my history. I've been working before I came to our family business in Hannover for several hotel chains, and my last job was basically in sales and marketing. So I was very well aware of revenue management. I even did my studies in that field and area, and I knew what would be really beneficial for our family property, as we didn't really have revenue management in place at that time. We had mainly static rates, and for fares, for instance, we just raised the rates not based on demand and the market. We didn't compare ourselves to other properties, and so it was. I had high expectations, and I think we fulfilled most of them.
Yeah, that's good. But I remember doing the first potential analysis and so on, and we saw quite some potential, but more to that later. But exciting it was for sure. So that was the before. And what doubts did you have going into using our service? Were there any doubts?
Well, I think I didn't have any doubts because I was convinced that revenue management as a whole for our company would be highly beneficial. I had doubts about our employees and our people at the reception. We don't have a huge sales office or anything, so our reception team basically managed the rates themselves, or they managed the rates themselves before. And I had doubts whether they really appreciated your service and whether they were open to learn. And I was very positively surprised how they soaked all the information up that you and your guys provided. And I think we went on a great successful.
Yeah. And looking back then, mentioning that success, what were the main success points in your perspective during the first years of collaboration from the start in 2016?
Well, I think we kind of kissed our hotel awake within a few years. I mean, just numbers-wise, I think when we started, we had revenue turnovers in the hotel about 1.6 million euros a year. And when we started analyzing beforehand and had our expectations, I think we went up to 1.9, maybe 2 million a year for the market at that time. This was 2016, and we ended up before COVID in 2019 with 2.4, almost 2.5 million in revenue. So we exceeded it, and the team also learned and benefited greatly from the services that you provided. And also, I see this as a team effort. I think it's not only you guys, also my team grew at that time, and they benefited a lot also personally from the things they've learned. Something they will continue to think back in even 10 or 15 years. what we've achieved.
I couldn't agree more. I think a hotel's success is always a team effort between all the different departments, and everyone plays a key role and couldn't be reaching it by themselves, but it's really everyone is needed. And you also really have a great team on property that we have really loved to work with.
Thank you.
What could we have done maybe differently looking back at these 5.5 years? Were there anything that we could have done better?
It's a tricky question.
I like when you have to think really hard about this one.
Yeah, I know that you like that. To be honest, I think we didn't really. I can't really say that because we achieved a lot. We had great success. The strategy that we put in place for us worked really well. Even now during COVID, it's good to have you like as a partner by our side, and it gives me confidence to have a counterpart and also the team. Whereas I know that many hotel chains cut down on revenue management or on strategic costs. I would say I very much appreciate having you as a sparring partner, basically.
Nice.
What could you have done differently? It's really hard to say. It's really hard to think of. Maybe I come up with an idea.
Yeah, I can definitely say that you have given a lot of good and constructive feedback also over the years and helped us improve, obviously, on this journey. So, but it's been always things that we've overcome and we grow from that. So, anyway, a big thank you for both positive and constructive feedback during the years. Yeah, very good. What or maybe or would you say that there are also any unexpected benefits that came out of this collaboration that you didn't foresee from the beginning? So maybe increased revenues, that's a clear expectation, but maybe anything else that you saw as an unexpected benefit looking back?
Well, fair market share, obviously, amongst hotel chains in the market. It's also difficult as a privately owned hotel. Also that the team took you in as a basically team member. I didn't really expect that to be as good as we've achieved it. Also, I'd say that I can't really personally say. It's probably our reception manager who should tell you this, but I think for him, you've been also a great asset in terms of assisting and helping him for him to have more time to focus on our guests, basically. So the revenue theme being on your side, he was basically relying on what you guys decided strategically or what we've discussed during the revenue meetings. But I think for him and for the team, they could focus more on the guests. And also, this was not the first achievement that we wanted to have, but overall, I have to say that our guest reviews went up also without even improving our product. So I don't want to link this directly to you guys, but I could just assume that for the team having like the revenue part and the numbers part safe, they could focus more on the guests. And with the measurements we've taken internally with our standards to measure it, it worked quite well, and they could focus basically also on that, which is as we all know, having worked in hospitality, always the main issue, right? With people and with guests, it's always a human interaction that the guests have their highest ideas about.
That's the core business, right? Taking care of the guest in the end of the day. So the more time you have for that, that's good.
And for me personally, I think it was also great to have somebody that I can rely on my side as a managing director, being responsible for the numbers, that is actually speaking or helping me transport the vision, the ideas that we have from a different angle to our staff and also to our employees.
True, we've done quite a lot of that. I remember in the beginning you said like, Pontus, now we're we are a team, and just as anyone else within your team, and we brought a lot of motivation, new projects, new things to everyone.
Totally.
People maybe tend to listen a little bit extra than when that kind of, let's say, helping force from outside comes and supports that and so on.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
And for me as a managing director, it's good to have you by my side, because otherwise I would on that scheme, you always could be also that you start fighting with your team members, or your disagreement, and then having a third person in. I mean, you disagreed previously also with me directly and agreed with the team. So, being a triangle in that sense can be also helpful to get on a new road and improve your operation.
Yeah. So good sparring partners in all the different directions. Yeah, cool. And I want to come back to the successes that we also mentioned in terms of revenue growth and so on. So they were expected and so on. But what have you been able to do with that success? Have you been able to use that extra revenues and profit to pursue other goals for Kaiserhof?
Well, we are family business, right? And it's, as most of you know, hospitality is like you always have to invest in your product and in your people. And we haven't done this before I joined for some time. So it definitely helped us to do this in the first place. We had plans before COVID to renovate actually in 2020 and bring the product even further into state-of-the-art hospitality.
Yeah. There's a very nice mustache, I must say.
Yeah, thank you. But still not perfect. So we'll be building another one this year even.
Great.
And I think then we are like 90% fine and can continue to do that. But I mean, COVID obviously the past 18 months was really difficult. The last 2020 and also 2021 will be really difficult for us. I'm confident that we'll manage, but I think my goal is to pick it up where we left in 2019 and get as fast as possible back on that track to with you guys obviously to get numbers straight again, and back to hopefully soon back to 2019 numbers.
Yeah,
and then we can I think get out of this crisis even
faster.
And I think it helped. And it helped, obviously, the last, 16 to 19, so the last 3 to 4 years before COVID, to give us in a stronger position than we were before.
Mm-hmm. You mean that helped you now through the last 18 months of COVID?
Exactly. I mean, we wanted to improve the product, obviously, but now we had to use the money for the Corona crisis. But I mean, you can be also proud to say that we managed until here, and some others haven't. Even some hotel chains haven't managed to get where we are now.
Yeah.
We're tough 18 months, but and there are another tough 6 months I think ahead of us. But I think back in 2022. Things will clear up and we'll get better. We'll
fight our hardest for a brighter future for you. Looking ahead another 5 years, when we have been together for 10 years, what do you hope to be the main success points that we will talk about then?
Having I think the main points, if I imagine myself now from today in 5 years' time, I think the best thing that I would say then is that we've managed to get out of COVID quickly and got back on our feet, and we'll have improved by then our product and have done major innovations. And we are a market leader in Hannover. And making good and solid profits.
Yep. Now I'm looking forward to be on the journey together for that one.
Me too.
And now maybe the golden question: would you recommend our service, Alex? And now in an open, honest way, would you recommend our service to other hoteliers, and for what main reason or reasons? And what would you say to them?
Well, I can definitely say that Pontus and berner+becker, they've never let us down. They have always stood to their word and what we agreed on. So I think that's first of all a very important reference, because also during the last 18 months I saw lots of former suppliers, whatever, not holding up to their end, which gave me gray hair. But you guys always, stood up and gave your very best, even when I was angry with you, or who was selling too low or whatever. And I always enjoy the strategic discussions that we have, also for now, hopefully coming out of COVID. And I mean, the numbers that we've achieved were more than we have expected. So I would highly recommend you for these three reasons to any hotelier that has to make a decision about whether to implement revenue management or not, or if to have somebody to source revenue manage out to berner+becker, and not having somebody employed on their own, because the knowledge that you gained for us, for me, over the years is not lost. If I would had a revenue manager on property, and we know how the market, the HR market works, wouldn't be lost, right, in that sense. So especially with such a trusted thing as numbers and selling prices. So even 4 reasons.
Alex, those are very nice words that I hope reach out to many ears, and many interesting ears that are considering to maybe work with us, or what to do with their revenue management in general. Thank you so much for sharing the benefits that you saw in the last years, how you got through Corona a bit, and how the service and collaboration has been working. We look very much forward to the next 5 years, and hopefully they will all be very bright, and we can just go back off from here again, as you say in German. Alex, thank you
Pontus,
so much for joining.
Thank you so much, and good luck for the coming month for you too.
Thank you. Take care then.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.